Hey, yo, E-King Fight News back at it. Anthony Joshua recently said, like literally hours ago, that he will fight Deontay Wilder next in 2018. More on this, guys. E-King Fight News. That's right, guys. Anthony Joshua just stated he will fight Deontay Wilder. But the devil's in the details. He kept saying the devil's in the details. He mentioned he wasn't selling his belts. I mean, it's an interesting lesson. Let's hear what Anthony Joshua had to say just moments ago during the Tony Bellew massacre of David Haye. Let's hear what Joshua had to say in a moment's notice. E-King Fight News.
It's going to happen, there's no doubt about it.
When?
Potentially 95% this year. All it is, right, is that I can't offer you 10 quid and buy your life. Do you know where I'm coming from? You want to know the devil in the details. You're worth more than that anyway. So it's just the devil in the detail. You know, I'm really interested.
Hold on a second. Anthony Joshua just said, you know, you can't get offered 10 quid and I'll buy your life. I mean, hey, Anthony Joshua, we're talking about a fight, right? We're not talking about buying someone's life. We're not talking about having total control over someone. We're talking about $50 million and you go have a scrap with this guy from America. That's all we're talking about here. Yeah, you gotta show up to some press conferences, and obviously, during most of this time in between, you're gonna be training and preparing for your toughest test, the biggest challenge of Anthony Joshua's career to date would be this fight for the undisputed heavyweight championship of the world. What more can you say? That's something that puts you in the history books of great heavyweight champions. To call yourself the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, and for Anthony Joshua to not take that shot. You know, he wants to say he's the A side. He wants to say he calls the shots and all this shit. But take this shot. Undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. He says he's interested. Let's continue, guys. Let's continue with what he had to say.
You know, there's no, like, you can't talk about finances anymore because I'm well aware that there's financial gain in this fight. So let's put that aside and I'll just look at...
All right. According to Anthony Joshua, and this is the source, he said, let's put finances aside. He just said that. He said, you know what? I know there's financial gain. Let's put finances aside. And he said the devil's in the details. So I hope, I'm hoping AJ has agreed to this $50 million. I'm hoping. That's to me, that's a good sign. Because that's sort of how fight negotiations go. This is how, if you can get outside the money, if you want to put money aside and talk about other stuff, that's really good. This is good. Because if we put money aside, I hope he's, satisfied with a $50 million guarantee. So yeah, let's really negotiate and figure out what we want to do. So let's continue with Anthony Joshua.
The devil in the detail, because you can't just offer me, a buyout fee. I'm not here to sell my belts and then you take control of the whole show. That's not what I'm about. So put the finance aside. I want to look at the devil in the detail and build this fight to its full potential. And me personally, as I said, I've worked extremely hard because I want it here in the UK and vice versa, they want it in America. And little things like that, we just need to kind of put the nail in the head. And the brilliant thing, we've got a long time before we can finalise it because it's potentially going to happen at the end of the year. So we're working on it tirelessly right now, and I'm really interested in that fight.
That's what he had to say. That's it. That's the full quote. He's really interested in it. I mean, AJ, man, you got to be a little more than really, You got to be willing to make this fight happen. This seems like a sticking point, guys. What do you think about this? Joshua seems to have the stance that he wants to fight in the UK. But how can he have the fight in the UK if he's accepting a $50 million offer? In my opinion, you can't have it both ways. You can't have it both ways, guys. If he's getting this $50 million, part of the venue location, that should be something that I think, since Deontay Wilder's putting all that money up front and his backers basically co-signing the upfront guarantee, they should have lead control into where the fight takes place, as that can affect the revenues generated in the fight. So if AJ is trying to stay home on this one, that's going to be a problem. I'll tell you right now, that's going to be a problem. And maybe if this is the case, if AJ is trying to stay in the UK, they better put a big top dollar. Oh my God, you can't fight this. Hold on. All right. Yeah, they better put in a real legitimate offer for Deontay Wilder. Not no $12.5 million. If they want to do the fight in the UK, just offer Deontay Wilder. I told you, now you got to offer him at least 60-40% with pay-per-view upside. And maybe a 50-50 on the pay-per-views. And I think that's a fight that you could probably get away with. I think Wilder would take it. You throw in but here's the caveat. You have to throw in a rematch clause that says if Wilder knocks you out, he will get the Lions share, whatever it is. It could be a 55-45 or a 60-40 in his favor. That's all you need to do, and this fight should get made. So E-King Fight News, let me know what you guys think. Smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. What do you think about this fight? What do you think about Anthony Joshua's words? Is he still ducking the Wilder fight? For those of you who are following the channel and the story, because we cover this negotiation very thoroughly, you would know that Joshua has been forced into a situation where he has to negotiate with Wilder. I understand he's sort of willingly doing it because of the money that he can make now off of this fight. He definitely wasn't expecting to get $50 million up front when saying that. But hey, it shows how big this fight is. And if Eddie Hearn's serious about making the fight, because Eddie Hearn's been the one blocking the fight from day one. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say Josh was ducking completely, because I think a lot of it is Eddie Hearn. I really think he's the problem in this whole fight negotiation. And if Eddie Hearn can finally figure out how much money he can make off this single fight, and if he just would begin to think about a potential rematch, I mean, this dude's going to be okay. Like, these guys, let them make their money, because it's going to be, at the end result, it's going to be a prime heavyweight undisputed champion of the world. And there's going to be plenty of other fights after that, guys. So, like, this puts boxing on the map if this fight happens, and it just needs to happen. So hopefully, everyone spreads this message, and we could see Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua in 2018. E-King Fight News, guys.